Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront updates and some more exciting Star Wars Battlefront 2 content. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the star cards in Battlefront 2, how the rarities affect the gameplay, and also give you some comparisons on how a common card will compare to an epic card, and lastly, how you can actually upgrade those star cards. So first of all, what are star cards? In the previous game, the star cards were your abilities, and you picked 3 of them, simple as that. Whereas in this game, star cards are a little bit more complicated as they often modify your base ability. Some star cards, such as the 3rd slot for the classes, completely switches out the ability depending on what you have. But if we take a hero star card instead, those usually modify the standard abilities of the heroes instead of swapping them out. But I also want to note that what you're seeing here is a very early version of the game, so it is very likely that some of this stuff will change before the full launch or before the beta. But in this build, the heroes have 2 star cards, and the classes have 3 main star cards / abilities, and then a 4th passive star card. So how do you get these star cards from the beginning? Well, some of them you start off with, such as the base abilities for the classes, and at that point you will have the common version, which is the white version of that star card. But for some of the star cards you need to actually earn the common version as well. So, how do you actually get new star cards or upgrade your star cards? Well, the main way to get new star cards is by opening crates, and I have a separate video talking a bit more in detail about crates that you can check out if you haven't already. But by opening crates you will receive new star cards, and through the same crates you will also get crafting parts, and this is the currency you can use to manually upgrade the cards that you want. So let's say that you really like Darth Maul's ability. Well, then you can spend some of those crafting parts to upgrade it yourself, and you don't have to open a bunch of crates and just hope that you will get the right ability, but you can focus on the ones that you want. But a question I know a lot of you will be asking: what is the difference between a common card and an epic card? Well, the actual statistics are pretty easy to find. All you need to do is look over to the right side of the screen and you will see the difference. A lot of the star cards usually have some sort of cooldown decrease, which isn't that fun to show off in this video, but it kind of explains itself. However, there are some abilities that have more unique changes based on the star cards that I wanted to show you in this video, so that you get a visual representation of how much an epic star card can actually change. But I also want to note that the goal of these rarities isn't that an epic card will be able to absolutely destroy a common card, but it will give you a slight advantage, although skill will always be what wins. A slightly lower cooldown or a slightly bigger blast radius won't be the thing that makes you dominate the battlefront. So the first thing I wanted to show was the battle command for the officer. The common version has 10 in radius, but if you upgrade it all the way to epic, you get 14. It's a little bit tricky to show you, but if you look at these 2 clips and how they fade into each other, you will see that the second version, after I upgraded the cards, actually has a bigger radius. This will be easier to test when the game is actually out, and you can have some people to compare it with. But some of the ones that are easier to show off is, for instance, the specialist's stealth card. And the stealth card is one of the 4th slot cards, which means it's a passive ability. First of all, it hides you from the radar while you are sprinting, but it also increases your melee damage. The base damage in the game is 50, and as you can see here it says 65, 75, 100 and 150, so it's actually a quite big difference. However, I did some testing and I don't think 150 is actually accurate, because it seems to be doing 100 damage. So having this card equipped at an epic version will double your normal melee damage, and if you have it in common version you will do 65, which is still 15 more than the base damage. This was the first time I actually noticed a difference that I could feel just by playing, because running around with the specialist and the epic version of this card was actually pretty effective. It meant that I could 2-shot any normal soldier on the battlefront, even heavies who have 200 health, which normally would take 4 hits. But of course, to balance that out, the specialist only has 100 health, so a lot of times I got killed before I even reached them, but I thought it was fun to try, doing a lot of damage with the melee but at the same time dying very fast. And lastly, I wanted to show you how Darth Maul's cards changes his abilities. The first clip you will see, I don't have any star cards equipped at all, so you will see the standard length for his lightsaber throw and the standard length for his force choke throw. But then I equip these 2 star cards that will increase the length by 80%, both for the force choke throw and for the lightsaber throw, although they are separate star cards. And it's pretty easy to see as soon as I equip these star cards that I can actually throw the lightsaber quite a lot further and I do throw them a lot further as well. And one important thing I wanted to bring up here is that just because you have a star card equipped doesn't always mean it works the best in all situations, because what I found with the Force Choke card is that I thought I threw them too far. When I had that card equipped, I usually threw them so far that I didn't have time to actually reach them and finish them off, but they usually had time to escape, and sometimes I even threw them over a wall, which made it impossible for me to reach them. So that was one star card that I felt like I would have been better off without it, as I'd rather just pick them up, throw them a meter, and then finish them off with a lightsaber throw, or just go up to them and slice them down. Whereas the lightsaber throw card felt pretty good at all situations, because you are pretty vulnerable as a melee character in this game, and to have a really long lightsaber throw actually made a nice difference compared to not having that star card at all. But that should give you an idea of how the star cards works in this game, how to get them, how to upgrade them, and also a couple of examples of how much of a difference there is between a common card and an epic card. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe for more Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars gaming content. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.